Okay guys, so we have a lot to get into in today's video. We have the new star level that unlocked. We also have to talk about gear. There's so much that happened in day 6 as we're coming to a close. We're currently 430k power, free to play, $0 put in, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into the things that are boosting your power, right? So going into the resonance, once you hit level tier 1, level 50, it is going to be something called the star level that will unlock. Now, I gotta shout out the community and those of you guys that have came through to the twitch.tv/Zox, specifically Pablo. Appreciate him for using his account for us to be able to figure this stuff out. There were so many different questions and how exactly, what are the specifics, who can qualify, when can you use it, etc. Right? So we're going to be answering all of that. So what are the parameters, right? Let's start out there. So parameters, number one, every single slot, just like you've been doing, is going to be basically based around a singular unit, right? So you need one of each unit or type, I should say, or class or role for you to be able to take advantage of this. So every single slot needs to be at tier 1, level 50 in order for you to use this, right? Now, per character, you're going to have the ability, especially starting out, to slot in a character. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to note here. There's something called star resonance limit, and then it's who's being resonance, what's the resonance happening to, right? So that's the unit that you're slotting in. So the star resonance limit is based off of the most invested unit when it comes down to the unit that you've starred up the most of that respective class. So if we actually look at, for example, the Guardian, right, and we go up to the tier, you'll notice here, my strongest is my Obero. If we go to my Priest, my strongest is going to show first, of course, is going to be my my Fairy Queen. Assassins is my 4 Saints. Warrior is my Siegfried. Ifrit is my Archer, so on and so forth, right? You get the point, right? Now, if we go back to star level, when you're plugging in a character, okay, one of the things that you need to remember is that this is going to be alleviating the process of having to dump fodder, or I would say the necessary bases into the character themselves and going through that entire process that you've been going through in the starring up system, right? So what do I mean by that? Okay. So when we're looking at the character, you are going to have your star resonance limit, which means based off of the highest character that you have on your account, right? So let's say, for example, they're 3 stars or 5 stars or whatever it is. The unit that you plug in, they cannot sync and go beyond that number of stars, okay? So when we're actually looking at this, the Arcane Lord Atanith is in here, right? Now, the thing that is really important to understand is that it says two more 5 stars. The resonance will go up to 3 star, right? 3 star purple. What does it mean by that? It wants me to basically plug in 2 more base copies. So you don't need to take them to 6 star. They don't need to be invested in. You just need to have a base copy and a dupe of a unit to start using this system, right? So then every dupe that you throw or that you get onto your account will be thrown into this system for that specific character, and it will allow you to go up in star rarity in the system, okay? So this is basically alleviating, for at least the initial aspect of the game, the idea that you have to fodder every single unit, because it is absolutely impossible for free to play to be able to keep up with that in the very beginning. So this is a way to alleviate this, right? Wells are obviously going to take advantage of this, because if they, say, for example, max starred, which is a diamond star, a character, that means that they can go all the way up and throw this in here with 18 copies, not even having to father them, where that character then will be raised to max diamond level, right? So the basis of this system, just to kind of simplify it, is that you take the character that you want to raise up, you plug them in, and then you just take their base copies. They automatically get put in here. They'll automatically transfer over, and you just have to worry about base copies. You're not worried about fodder. Now, there are 2 things that you have to keep in mind with this. Eventually, you are going to want to build the character for collection stats, and also because of the fact that you may also want to plug someone else in so that you can take advantage of giving them the stats, right? But what this is basically alleviating, and is giving you the opportunity to basically develop a unit over time instead of having to do it right now. So it allows you to still be competitive, and it still is going to basically allow you to just have fun, right? So when you're looking at how this works in terms of how many slots you can get up to 5 slots. Now, 2 of those slots are going to be coming from hitting tier 2 level 1, and then the third slot is going to be coming from hitting tier 3 level 1, right? Now, with that, you also are going to have a 4th slot that will unlock with 120 slime of the slime goo. Do I recommend you doing that as a free to play? No, because you still have monthly things that you need to buy. Maybe when you're at a more settled point on your account, you may consider doing something like that, but that's not really going to be the thing that you're focused on right now. I would also argue that 1 slot is more than enough for free to play right now, because the objective that this is basically also allowing you to fulfill or complete is powering up a unit and being able to make 2 different teams essentially, right? Because essentially you're basically building up a unit to be just as strong as the unit you actually done the entire star rarity ranking system process with, without having to do half of the work, right? Now, for those of you guys that are confused on what I'm referring to, I'm referring to the star upgrade in the process where, you have X unit, you need to plug in the 6-star, and then you need 3-star or 3 of the 6-star shield units or tank units to also be able to get that value out of that unit. You completely do not have to do that for the unit that you plug in. So this means that the unit that you're building, you continue to build them. You'll still have to do this at least at one time. And then from there, you'll always be able to plug in a character and build them. And you'll still be building other stuff, of course, but it's just a way to kind of alleviate some of that pressure, right? Very, very simple. So that is something that unlocked and is going to obviously give you more diversity, more choices, and more things to work on and use without half of the cost, right? So again, huge W. Now, the next thing is going to be about gear, okay? Now, I do not know how many people actually know this. This was something that was brought to my attention, and it is a huge, huge thing. You have something called resonance level on your gear, okay? Resonance level is going to be very, very important to be aware of. Now, you might notice I have full 4-star gear now, right? Now, resonance level is going to be giving you a higher power boost than just chasing a whole bunch of legendary. So we had to basically reassess how it's going to work for a free to play. So if you already have a legendary piece or 2, it's fine. But when you're looking at resonance level for the gear, the way that this works is that when you reach SR 1-star with all gear, you can activate gear resonance level 12, for example, here. So every time you activate a resonance, it will basically level up that resonance and then give you more base stats, right? So when we were actually fully equipping characters with the respective resonance to the rarity that they're on, it was giving them anywhere from 3 to 4K boosts. Right. This is why now I'm sitting with a 69K Ifrit right now. Same thing, 66K on my my Obero. So the thing is that when you're also looking at where you may be at in terms of your actual gear dungeon, you're going to more than likely be somewhere around tier like level 7, maybe level 8. And even then you're going to be farming purple for a little bit, right? Like legendary doesn't just become accessible right off rip. You get a higher chance of getting higher purple medals, for example, like for today. And then like tomorrow is a pretty big day because that's going to be the day where we actually get all of the gear accessible. So it just gives you the chance to get higher drops, which is going to be really important for that resonance level, right? So that resonance level is actually going to be better to focus as a free to play than it is trying to get gold gear right away. Okay. So that's one thing that I do want to make sure I update you guys on. Keep in mind, guys, as I get information, I'm going to let you guys know as soon as I possibly can. So when you're looking at what to get out of the gear store, you actually want to get some of these purple pieces. Originally, I wasn't trying to get those because I was thinking, well, you know what? Like I might as well go ahead and get the random SSR. But the problem is that it's all random. So it might take you a little bit before you're able to even actually really see the value out of that. So I do want to apologize to those of you guys that already have made the purchase, for that piece. Again, like I said, it was shown to me today. So I just wanted to make sure that I rectified and told you guys in this video because it made a massive shift in my progression and my power boost. So once again, I truly, truly do apologize. I really want, obviously you guys to have a seamless progression and do not want to cause any bumps in the road as much as I possibly can. So again, this is going to be massive for your account as a free to play. I cannot stress that enough, and it is very, very cheap. So like, for example, the same cost of spending this $750 on one piece, you can basically get an entire bonus built up for two characters completely, basically for the same cost, right? So that's something that, again, like I said, wasn't really thinking of, but I do want to apologize to you guys and let you know that that is something that is very, very, very busted on your units, right? Now, one thing that I definitely want to make sure that I hyper fixate on is going to be in the guild, okay? This is something that, like, again, I know a lot of you guys may not know because you may not have a really good guild, but you can see here, I am in something called the Garrison or the Lost Holy Springs inside my guild. This is the Cannon, the Lost Cannon area. Basically, what I'm doing right now is I am AFK generating gems. Yes, I said it. I am AFK generating gems. So I've been missing out on gems, okay? So I could have had even more gems as a free to play. And I want to make sure that you guys do not make these mistakes because this, again, is huge for your guild. If your guild isn't actively doing it, leave that guild and go to another one, okay? This is a way for you to be able to get crystals AFK. All right. Now, the thing is that in order for you to be able to unlock this, you need to go into the Lost Cannon area. So you have like the territory area. You'll see that on every map, there's going to be like this dragon skull. You go into that dragon skull, it will take you over to this area. The entire premise of this is that your guild is trying to fight guild that is out there against you, and you're trying to conquer as many of those areas as possible. So we actually have more areas out right now, and so we also are generating a ton of crystals being occupied by us right now. So in like the middle, like comparatively to like if you're staying on like Springwater City versus Windbreath, etc., we're able to basically have a person on deck that's stationary that's going to be defending those. And then like whoever is in one slot, we may alternate out just so that zones don't get taken. But for the most part, you have more than enough space for everybody. Like if we view this, like we have 4 out of 30 people that can actually be sat here. So at the end of your day, you're basically always going to come here so that you can basically gain extra crystals. Now, why do you want to make sure you do this? Because guess what? On the Sundays and Saturdays, they double how many crystals that you get, right? So if we look at any of these, which I can't actually look, but these are 25, right? So those are 25, that's 25. This big one right here is 50. So you get that per hour, okay? I cannot stress how important that is. Now, I am going to recover this in the full guide that I'll be putting together, talking about guilds and guild wars and GVG and all that stuff, right? Because there's so much coming that you do not want to make any mistake of missing. I promise you guys, there's a ton of currency that you don't want to miss. But I do at least want to make sure I mention this because this is like an end of day action that you want to make sure you always do. There is no day that you don't want to be in the Lost Cannon not collecting these crystals. Don't be like me. Like I said, I wasn't really aware of it. I was just kind of getting the guild together. And even then, that makes a big difference for you. Okay. So that is that, right? So outside of that, everything else was pretty standard as far as our power push. There wasn't anything super crazy today in particular. Outside of those functionalities, the only other thing that like was kind of a thing that happened was that we actually have in the invocation, we unlocked the next thing, which would actually be, if we go here, the refuge. So now the refuge shows up in the pool, so we can pull those now. And then we still have another 60 something pulls to do in order to be able to get Wild Cry and Dragon Call. So that's basically that, right? Now, outside of that, guys, that's basically all we kind of did today. I accumulated a little over like 10,000 crystals. I had to spend some for a couple of different things that I wanted to do. We're going to have, like I said, a lot more videos breaking down everything. So definitely make sure that you guys keep an eye out. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Again, let me know in the comment section down below if these tips help you, because I'm telling you right now, again, with the gear and with the resonance system, with the star leveling, and of course the ability to be able to level share and star share, that is going to make a big difference in your progression. So that's going to be that with this one, guys. Definitely make sure that you guys like and subscribe for more content. Come through to the twitch.tv/ZoxFam. All you guys stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.